Let me show you how to check the thermal fuse without using a multimeter. Disconnect the dryer from the wall outlet and open the top panel. The thermal fuse is located in this area on the heater box. Disconnect the wires from the thermal fuse. Squeeze the terminals a little bit with a needle nose pliers like this. Hook the two terminals like this and make sure that the connection is tight. Insulate the connection with electrical tape to prevent any short circuits. Put the wires out of the way like this. Make sure they don't touch any moving parts. Go ahead and close the top panel. Connect the dryer to the wall outlet. Try the dryer to see if it works now. If the dryer starts and seems to be running normal, you will need to replace the thermal fuse and the safety thermostat. Warning! You could only bypass the thermal fuse for testing purposes only. Do not use the dryer to dry clothes with a bypassed thermal fuse. It's not safe and you could burn the house down. If the thermal fuse is bad, just replace it with a new one. With the top panel opened and the dryer disconnected from the wall outlet, let me show you how to replace the thermal fuse. Remove the heating element holding screw. You will need to push the bracket up to unhook it from the heater box. Like this. Then you could take it out. Go ahead and remove the bad thermal fuse on the bracket. Be careful when you stick your hand in so you don't cut yourself with a screw or a sharp edge. The replacement kit comes with a safety thermostat, a gas dryer thermal fuse, and an electric dryer thermal fuse. The thermal fuse for the electric dryer has a pink dot on it and it reads L300F on the side of it. Let me show you a little trick on how to mount the thermal fuse on the bracket. Put the thermal fuse on the bracket, bend these two ends. This way the thermal fuse will stay in position and it'll be easier for you to mount it on the heater box. This is the way that the thermal fuse bracket hooks into the heater box. And this is the way that the heating element holding screw holds the bracket in place. Connect the two wires to the thermal fuse. It doesn't matter which wire connect to which terminal. Grabbing the thermal fuse bracket with a needle nose plier will make it easier to install it. Set the thermal fuse holding bracket on the heater box. Make sure that it hooks good and it stays in place. And install the heating element holding screw. Make sure that the screw is holding the thermal fuse bracket in place. Remove the old safety thermostat and install the new one that came with the kit. It doesn't matter which wire connect to which terminal. Make sure that the safety thermostat have not been pushed down too close to the heating element. If it is, bring it out a little bit like this. Lower the top panel and make sure that it closes good. That was the easier way to check the thermal fuse and replace it. Now before you could use the dryer, you need to do something else that I'm going to show you next. Connect the dryer to the wall outlet. Go to the outside and tape a piece of paper towel to the dryer exhaust air vent like this. Set the temperature switch to air fluff so the dryer will not be heating while you check in the airflow to the outside. Turn the dryer on and go outside. If the airflow is nice and strong, then you should be all set. You're ready to use the dryer. If the airflow is lazy, it's not moving strong, you will need to check for a kink or clog exhaust hose or for a lint filter full of lint. You will need to make sure that the airflow to the outside of the house from the dryer is strong, or the thermal fuse will blow again soon. So take care of that, okay? For the best place to buy replacement parts online, visit Repair Clinic. When you buy parts from Repair Clinic, you have 365 days from the day of purchase to return the part for a refund or for a replacement. You can find links to Repair Clinic in my website,